Hi, Gloria Lybecker here with Healing You. Have you ever woken up at 3 in the morning and you can just sense that there's this worry buzzing through your body? And you're at first a little puzzled because life has been going well. You might be a professional that holds that sacred space for others' hearts. And some of the people you hold space for are professionals in their own right as well. And they hold other sacred space for other people in different ways. Maybe you hold space for people that are the presidents of corporations. Maybe you hold space for people who are millionaires. Maybe you hold the space for people who are farmers or blue-collar workers. The thing all of those people have in common, whether they know it or not, is they are a spiritual being having a human experience. And in this human experience, there are times that I would say all of us have experienced trauma in different capacities. And sometimes when a trauma is triggered in the present moment, people need to have people they trust that they can become vulnerable with in order to have a new experience that is truly healing from the heart level. And that's really vulnerable territory. It can be vulnerable not just for the client, it can be vulnerable for the professional. And there's certain skill sets that we need to be able to develop and be able to talk about in order to maintain healthy relationships with one another that has clear and contingent communication and takes the time to slow down and stay heart connected and in relationship. So it's true, clients really need to feel safe. They need to know that they matter, that their experience and their perception matters, and that they can be heard fully in that experience in order for them to lay down new neural pathways to interrupt those old neural nets of energy that have gotten stuck and blocked. And sometimes they, through that experience something so astonishing they didn't even know it was possible. And in that new experience, there's a bonding that takes place. There's a closeness that's really holy territory. It's very similar to what a mother and infant would experience in the bonding, because there needs to be that resonance and that warmth and that care, that compassion that's really authentic, because it really does matter. And from that experience, then there can become this bonding that can kind of blur the boundaries for the client, and possibly can blur the boundaries for the professional as well. Because now there's this closeness, this feeling of closeness and safety that this other person hasn't had before. So if you've ever had this experience, I'm wondering, have you ever had a client that then wanted to become just a really close friend with you? And wanted to be able to maintain that relationship with you? And yet, at the same time, you know, they do matter. How have you navigated this? What have you said or done? And when you pause to think about that, was that really, were you able to maintain the heart connection and to have a clear shared understanding? Or maybe it got really awkward and you didn't know what to say or do. And then later you found yourself waking up at 3 in the morning, worried and wondering whether or not you were going to be rejected, really needing acceptance on so many different levels. As a spiritual being having a human experience, and also as a professional providing a service with a skill set and a mindset that's very congruent, that provides deep healing for other humans. Those are some pretty powerful skill sets. It's a way of being. It's when what we do is in service of who we be. It's one really powerful way that I've experienced that. And so how important is it then to really know what you're capable of, to receive acknowledgement of that, to have community that gets that and appreciates that and mirrors that back to you and supports you to be able to have a voice that would say to your client, well, acknowledge, of course I care. And yes, we've gotten very close, and I want to acknowledge the need to honor the relationship of trust that we have co-created. There's nothing wrong with checking in with someone. There's nothing wrong with being friendly. And at the same time, it's really important that you value your gifts that you've received and that there's an equal exchange between you and your clients. It's okay to be honest and to clarify your intentions and to clarify the space that you hold, and to also offer resonance and even reassurance. So sometimes the mind needs to quiet so the heart can feel the resonance. Then there's a relaxation. It's like, well, of course, yes, it's a safe relationship. It's safe to stay in this relationship, and it's safe to ask questions, and it's safe to explore new possibilities of what it might look like and what it might feel like. It's important to honor our relationships and to have authentic limits within them. If this is an area that you'd like to explore more, reach out to me at healingyoussanctuary.com. I'd love to have a chat with you and to see how I might best support you. You might also be interested in some of the small groups where you can join with other professionals to be able to create a community of support that you can count on, that endures and goes on and on and on. It's great to be a part of a community that you trust. Thanks for being on the journey with me today. Healing you.